People always ask me, am I proud of what I've achieved? And I genuinely don't think I've done anything super special. Every award I receive is very bittersweet. You know, without losing Paul and George, I would still probably be a PE teacher and life would be very, very different. But sadly, it was something we went through, and to know now that families are being supported and tuition is being recognised means the world.
Fi'n hynod o ddiolchgar i Rhian a'r holl elusen i gweud y gwir. Maen nhw wedi helpu ni gyd fel teulu. Nôl yn 2015, Mawrth yr 8fed, diwrnod penblwydd fi, roedd knock ar y drws yn gynnar iawn y bore a wrth i ni ateb welon ni 2 plismon. Ac o fyna fe newidiodd bywydau ni gyd dros nos. Bu farw fy mab hennaf Connor o ganlyniad i lofruddiaeth. Tra ni'n aros yn yr ysbyty, yn yr oriau gynnar iawn, nes i ffindio carden bach gyda llun eliffant arno fe. Roedd e jyst yn gweud, dyn ni yma i helpu teuluoedd sydd ei angen ni, ac o fyna dyn ni heb gadael nhw, a dyn nhw heb gadael ni chwaith.
George was amazing. He was our 3rd child. And he just smiled all the time. He had sticky out ears, he had a real little personality, and he just loved his brother and sister. On the 22nd of February 2012, it was a normal day. I'd been to work, I came home, the children were happy, laughing, got them ready for bed, and that's when George fell ill suddenly. He just rolled over onto the floor. I got up, I went over to him. I knew something was wrong and we called an ambulance. Sadly, within 2 hours of being admitted to the hospital, George passed away.
Sydd yn y darlun o'r sianel yng ngwely.
5 days after George passed away, I couldn't have imagined anything worse happening, really, but I got up and my husband Paul and I talked. We talked all the time about what happened, but Paul was very upset and he went off in the car to clear his head. And about an hour and a half after he left the house, I looked up to see 2 uniformed police officers in the driveway. And I just think, I knew that this was going to be bad news. And that's when they told me that Paul had passed away.
Mae'r weddi o hyd yn fiwsig I gyd, mi wn yn achlywaf hi.
People often ask me how I've kept going, and actually I don't know the answer, because if you'd have told me this was going to happen to me, I would never have thought I could have survived. What's kept me going? Obviously, Holly and Isaac. Although that's easier said than done, having 2 children on your own when you had 3 and you had a husband to support you, to being on your own is very difficult. So when Paul and George died, I was a PE teacher, and that's all I ever wanted to do. I loved it. I tried to go back, but it just wasn't what I wanted to do anymore. And I started planning ways in which I could help other families in our local hospital who lose a child suddenly. What I hadn't realised was this was happening all over Wales, day in, day out, where families were leaving a hospital without their child and not receiving any support. Sadly, it's a club that no one wants to be a part of, and we just want them to know that we are here if they ever need us.
Maen nhw wedi bod yn holl bwysig I ni, just rhoi cefnogaeth I ni, ond yn fwy yn rhoi gobaith bod ni yn gallu delio a bywyd a gallwn ni barhau hefyd. Fi jyst eisiau gweud diolch huge I Rhian. Maen nhw wedi really dal yn dwylo ni gyd, really.
So it's 10 years since the boys died this year. So I plan to walk over 1,000 miles in memory of every single child or young adult that has passed away since George passed away, which started the charity. And each mile we do is for one of our stars that we miss every day.
Y weddi'r